I came here several times with my father when I was little, but stopped eating here as often after growing up. I hope the food here will be to your taste.
Oh, don't worry. We haven't eaten at a hotel like this in a while.
In that case, I'll go order for us first. Please wait here a moment.
Ooh, everything looks so good. People in Fontaine sure know how to enjoy life.
Why, of course. Go ahead, try whatever you like. If the food's good, I'll make a group reservation for the rest of Spina di Rosula next time.
And if it's not?
Well, then I'll still bring it.
Yeah, sure have your own.
Oh, true. Very true. In that case, boss, we'll have another 2 dishes.
You had to order even more. Find the serial disappearances?
Well, we've certainly taken a big step forward, but I feel that's about it.
If it hadn't happened right in front of us, Paimon wouldn't have ever believed that a person could...
Right? Yet it was because this was such...
Ugh. If only that guy could have finished speaking!
In such investigations, even the smallest step, to be honest, I don't have high hopes for any follow-up that the authorities might conduct. It's not that I don't have faith in their ability. It's just that it's easy to guard against and deceive a single narrow perspective, which is exactly why the Spina di Rosula, those highfalutin folk, are not all-knowing. That's why we exist. To seep into the cracks where filth falls through, where their watch fails them.
Seems Paimon thought things were simpler than they actually are.
It's all right. Well, then let's talk about something else. Like, what are your future plans?
That's true. We didn't have a chance to speak to her.
I see. So, your primary objective, which has been foiled so far, was to have a... I've heard that there's a long line of people waiting to meet Lady Farina.
Yeah, we've heard that she's super popular here.
Well...
Guess that's Spina di Rosula's boss for you. Chock full of sketchy ideas.
Well, one way would be to infiltrate a performance troupe at the Opera House, only to... I'm sure Lady Farina would be eager to see the ending, and would agree in order to finish...
Could you suggest some...
All right, here's another. Find a way to conceal yourselves under her bed. I can personally testify that this one works. When I'm sleepy, I'll do anything as long as I can finally get some sleep. Valid point. I overlooked that part. All right, no more joking around. You did defeat her in court, clearing citizens of hers from false accusations. False accusations she had nearly upheld personally. I imagine that she feels quite ashamed about the whole thing.
You mean that if we catch her while she's on a break, she might be too embarrassed? Why don't we give it a try after this?
Huh? Paimon, did you drink my
Sorry about that. But
No, it's fine.
all right. Honestly,
Is that so? If we're all finished eating, then I'll go pay.
yeah, we're stuffed. Oh, so full. Paimon can barely float anymore. Can't you see Paimon's barely an inch off the ground?
Okay.
Hey, Navia, what are
Oh, nothing. It was just a meal, you know? Nothing the Spina di Rosula can't cover.
you... Let's get ready to try...
So this is goodbye, huh? Well, if you do encounter any other trouble in Fontaine, you're always welcome to contact the Spina di Rosula. I'll give your... in any case, I wish you smooth sailing. I'll see you again, partner.
See ya!
Crumble!
anymore. Looks like that boat we took to Aranese.
Vache.
Looks like we're back here at... Huh? Traveler? Ugh.
Vache? Vache.
Hey, why are you still walking? Huh? Hang on. Hey, Traveler? Stop walking! Come on, wake up!
Vache, are you my dear Vache? No, wait. You seem to be someone else. My memories feel like they have been washed away like a flood. So many fragments dissolved amidst the tide. Never. How much have I lost? How many things that I once held dear while on land have I since forgotten? Yes, that is what I was once. But now, I am but the consciousness of one who is lost, therefore. I do not know how I came to be like this either. I only vaguely remember being covered in light blue water. I also no matter where I went, Vache would go with me. But now, we can... No! Our reunion, the thought of me gives him no... If you meet Vache, tell him not. Perhaps that is so. As I was submerged in the waters. If only I could have comforted him. Told... Is that what you call it? It was a state of neither fear nor frenzy. I could also liken it to being a thirsty person who drinks water for the first time. I think I hear your companion. It's farewell then. I...
Wake up! Come on, hurry! Navi is outnumbered!
Demoiselle, look out!
Dear God, it's a whole army of Gardamex. Chlorand? Quick, now's our chance! I should thank you for lending us your sword there, Chlorand. But before I do so, could you explain how you managed to show up?
I followed you.
I believe that following someone without their knowledge is actually called stalking, is it not?
Mr. Callus's last wish was for me to ensure your safety.
Do not speak of my father!
Sorry, Demoiselle. I was not strong enough.
Thank you for your aid, Miss Clorand, but do keep an eye out for your manner of speech. I believe we all wish to avoid unnecessary emotional harm.
Sorry,
Whatever. What else do you know? How did you come to the conclusion that I'd be in grave danger?
I doubt I know much more than you. But I believe that the mastermind behind the serial disappearances is very powerful. Your performance tonight will almost certainly attract their attention.
I'm sure they've known about me. To be honest, I'm shocked it's taken them this long to act against me. And what about these Gardamex?
None of these mecha have serial numbers. I was sure to check a moment ago. They are not the ones used by the authorities to enforce the law. I can only conclude that some powerful or wealthy party must have obtained...
What? Your point being that they're out of Spina di...
Yes. Be careful, and do not act rashly.
I will continue investigating, no matter what. Regardless, thank...
I do not think that they'll strike again anytime.
Right. I suppose that's the best...
Demoiselle, I believe that Miss Clorand would...
I know, I just... She's...
Oh, thank goodness! Paimon thought we were done! Those Gardamex came out of nowhere while you were... Oh, and there was that champion duelist named Clorand who came out...
Oh, come now. As such, we're
It will take 50 years from...
If it were me...
all right.
Actually, Navia, how did you know that we were in danger?
Well, to be honest, you're the one who tipped us off, Paimon.
Huh? Really?
Yes, all thanks to... After we parted ways, I was on the way back to one of our bases when I suddenly thought of what you said. That the Fanta tasted kind of salty and icky. Fanta only comes in sweet flavors. So
the Fanta had been spiked with...
yes. So if you...
Spina di Rosula is prepared...
Huh? Really?
I sent people to Hotel de Boer to investigate. That's when I figured out that you might be in danger.
What? Why would they go after us?
Well, you... Speaking of which, did anything...
Well, it can't be coincidence that the Traveler... Oh, and this time Paimon heard it too! But it was real faint. Does that mean the primordial seawater raises someone's sensitivity to hydro when it's used on people who are not from Fontaine?
That doesn't sound like too much of a bad thing to be...
New intel? While you...
well, let's hear it, shall we? Oh. Vache. That name doesn't ring... Since he saw that young woman dissolve, but he never gave testimony or any information regarding people... Yes, thank you. Oh, you...
Well, you did say that our farewell meal did... And besides, we're in this now whether we like it or not.
Demoiselle, do try not to look quite so pleased. You are the face of Spina di Rosula, after all.
You talked. Let's head back to one of our bases, shall we? I'll arrange accommodations for... Also have some plans to go over, and hopefully we can deepen our bonds as partners. But we'll take that... It's right up ahead.
I've been keeping watch, Demoiselle. I haven't spotted anyone
Very good. But
I shall find rooms for...
thank you, Malus. Now, let's continue.
This is your...
Your accommodations have been arranged. Under the present
Well, after all, we don't allow illegal or unethical profiteering. In fact...
Seems like it's tough times for everyone.
To be honest, our financial situation was
Your father...
Demoiselle, if you'll allow me...
No. I'll explain it myself. My father's name is Callus. Yes, the same one they call Callus the Unfaithful. 3 years ago, he was accused of murdering his own friend. But he chose a duel to defend his honor, instead of standing trial.
Oh no.
But I do not believe my father was... At the time, I believed that if he only stood trial and was duly investigated, something amiss would crop up and prove his innocence. But strangely, he not only requested that even after being seriously injured, to the point where he could be deemed as having lost the duel, 3 years later, how could he protect his honor if he's dead? The closest piece of info I have is that my father had been investigating the serial disappearances case at the time of his death.
Ah, so that's why you're so
That's right. I've also tried to investigate the murder However, I believe that if the murder... I must know what really happened. Was my father coerced? Framed? Even if he really did... If only he'd been more open with me when he was still alive. He even hid the fact that my mother died due to... And now, here I am investigating his death. You really are a handful, aren't you, Papa?
Demoiselle, please, if there is anything I can do, anything at all.
I also will never believe that Master Callus murdered anyone. Master Callus did so much good in life, yet all it took was one... Even our supporters decreased greatly due to that incident.
Wait! If Callus was such a good man...
No. Perhaps people just revel in that kind of drama. People love watching the evil turn over a new leaf.
But how could... never mind.
There is one other thing.
Oh! Her? Yeah. That's not the sort of...
Miss Clorand has always placed great emphasis. She knew Master Callus beforehand and greatly... There was only ever...
It's not that I don't...
Don't worry, Navia.
Afterward, Miss Clorand told... Yes, that is our...
All right. Anyway, that's the... thanks. You two...
Yeah. Paimon's feet.
Please, relax and get some sleep. We will ensure you rest soundly.
Certainly worth the extra mile.
Huh? Navia? Wait,
I sent them back to Poisson. It's Spina de Rosula's place of origin, and where we have our...
Paimon gets the feeling that you're... But never mind that.
No, I just returned after going out for a while.
Wait, so you didn't...
How could I after...
Guess Paimon wasn't...
Unfortunately, this name seems to have been wiped. I suspect that those behind this have already taken steps to...
Does that...
No. There is one ray of hope, and that is the archives kept by Chief Justice... If the Oceanid you met is one of the young women who went missing...
So Nervalette maintains an archive of case files? In that case, let's go...
No, it... The Palais is right up ahead. Come on.
Please state your business here. The Chief just... This place does...
Hey, don't you recognize us?
Huh? Who are you? Just to be clear, I don't care who you are or who you...
See? They've got great discipline.
Yep. Paimon can tell... If you're here just to crack jokes, I can point you towards the exit. Unlike some, we're busy, so please...
No. What I meant to say is...
Oh, yes, I remember.
We're here today to report and archive some...
Is that even a...
Of course. Don't worry.
All right then, I'll let you through. The Chief Justice is just...
Thanks so much.
The food in the cafeteria is excellent.
Crumble!
Please come in.
Quake!
Sorry to barge in, Monsieur Nervalet. Really like...
It's all right. Please let me know how I may be of assistance to you.
So you...
We're looking for a man called Vacher. He may have been an eyewitness in the serial
Ah, I see. In that case, please wait here a moment while I browse through the file.
Who knew that Nervalet would be so easy to talk?
Unfortunately, I'm quite certain that no one by the name of Vacher has been involved in any case, criminal or civil, in the past several years. There are no records of him either in the files or in my...
Traveler? What?
Is that so? All right.
Ahem. Miss Navia, I can understand how you feel. Your father, Callus, was a...
And what are you trying to say, Monsieur Neuvillette? Are you trying to console me? Extend your sympathy? Or just express some tendril of regret? No. You are not trying to do any of that. I can hear it in your voice. There's no emotion behind your words. You only said those things because you felt like you should. It's just like last time. After my father took his place in the duelist ring, you even told me then that you thought there was something fishy with the case. Yet in your eyes, the value of a human life is nothing compared to those cold laws you hold so... If you truly regret my father's death, why didn't you give me the power to stop him from throwing his life away? Why did you just let him die? Despised and hated by all, everything was hanging on a thread at that moment. Just the tiniest... There are still so many things I never... If you really have no heart, then just look me in the eyes. I, Navia, will show you the true meaning of regret.
I'm sorry, Miss Navia.
You and my father are truly alike. You keep all kinds of things in your heart and never say a word to anyone. It's not so much that you can't feel, but that you would never express anything. Oh well. In any case, everyone already knows full well the apathy of the Chief Justice. My apologies for taking my emotions out on you, Monsieur Chief Justice. Let's go, Traveler and Paimon.
Navia,
I'm fine. rain.
You're right. Wasn't it still sunny when...
Now that I think of it, on the day my father was convicted...
What is it? Did you think of something?
Yeah, he was outside. It was uncovered and the rain could fall there. That thought has occurred to us before. We've even expanded the search area to try to account for that, but didn't find anything of value. Oh? Wait.
So you're saying that the true murderer could have been turned into water and then got washed away with the rain? Yeah. And if that's what had happened, then no one...
I really think I found a true... All right, let's go to Poisson.
Yeah, we're gonna make...
Do you want to go with me now? Or do... Great.
Violet grass is a plant that enjoys a moist environment and is best picked after it rains. If you should choose to pick any, be sure to store them appropriately.
Take it easy.
Whoa! What a huge ship! Why would a ship be anchored at a...
There's no need to be so surprised. My father was the one who asked for it to be built like this. A gigantic and glamorous ship embodies discovery, opportunity, ambition, and conquest. It symbolizes Spina di Rosula's bright and limitless...
And Paimon thought you were bluffing when you... Paimon was confused why a group with such a history would live in the sewer. But now that Paimon has seen this ship for herself, she's been convinced.
Well, Poisson is where Spina di Rosula began, after all.
Solidify!
Take it easy.
What happened?
Something called synth began to gain popularity. At a glance, it was a kind of drink that could...
Wait! Didn't that...
Yes, he did. Considering what we know now, if you drink synth for an extended amount of time, you'll suffer... And if you were to stop drinking it completely, you'll experience flashes. As he oversaw Poisson, my father was compelled to put a stop to synth abuse, and called for a complete ban of it.
Boss's uncompromising attitude incurred the synth vendor's wrath. But no matter how much they threatened or bribed him, he refused. Not only that, Boss became determined to find the mastermind.
Yes, but the enemy was very cunning. Recognizing that, my father decided to contact the dealers in secret and cultivate personal relationships with them. The man's name was Jacques. He felt greatly ashamed about his work that night. My father hosted a banquet at his country, but then we heard 2 gunshots from the courtyard. We raced.
Huh? How did that happen?
Sounds just like Lenny's case, doesn't it? In both cases, the culprit seemed obvious, but neither. Looking back on it, though, I now believe the most important clue. Precisely. It's all thanks to you that I made the connection now. Back then, we all just thought they were some. But, considering it now, it's almost certain that. You're right. We still don't know what.
Jacques was an empathetic man who was infinitely remorseful for his past actions. I think this third. On that note, however, even though our opponent is insidious and cruel, they are extreme. Even though Spina de Rosula has lost most of its former glory, Poisson has welcomed a new time of. There is no need to follow your father.
If that's indeed what he wished for, was I not the closest person to him? What was the point of him dying without sharing any of the secrets he knew? Did he manage to protect? Synth is still here. Callus the Unfaithful is still his epithet. And Spina di Rosula is Did he think I'd just accept his? I've never accepted that. Ever. I want to find out the real answer for everyone.
Davia.
This is indeed the best moment to act. Your partner appears to be quite.
So you do know something else, Malus?
Yes, I do. In fact, even before that but what drove all the tensions to the boiling point was the revelation that you, demoiselle, had been selected as the next target to disappear.
What?
Boss also didn't tell you that he and the serial disappearances case. 5 years was nowhere near enough time to resolve this long-standing Knowing all of this, he decided to use one final intimidation tactic before his death. He claimed to have already gotten his hands on some key incriminating evidence for the other side. But as long as you remained safe, he would not share the evidence with the public. If something were to happen to you, then he and all those he told would immediately expose all they knew about Synth and the disappeared victims.
Right, so nobody would be able to.
As we've seen, Boss's tactic has worked. Even though Boss has been gone for a long time, the other side has not tried to take Demoiselle's life.
No, I don't believe it. He never appeared to look.
No father wants their daughter to see them weak and haggard, especially someone as proud as Boss. To him, dying in a duel and suffering lasting dishonor as the unfaithful was.
So he chose to die.
I'm afraid you're not understanding this correctly, Demoiselle. If Boss's spirit could hear you telling me that you I'm sure he'd be extreme.
No. Is that the amount of confidence he had in me? And what if I was never able to make it to where I am now? Yeah. I suppose that's true. With the way he'd set things up, if I had wanted, I could have just lived out my life without it. But thankfully, he rarely talked to me about complex matters, and thus understood little of me as a person. In this case, Malus, what was the key evidence that—
It's the location where Synth is. When he was threatening the enemy, Boss didn't share the specifics of the. But if you want to use it against.
Why? If we know where the place.
You mustn't forget that we're fighting against a mysterious. There's no telling what might be lying in wait at their headquarters. We also have no idea what kind of evidence we may be able to. But a single visit to their headquarters would be tantamount to a formal declaration of war. The worst case would be that we leave empty.
Then, in that case.
Well, you saw one of them dissolve during Mr. Linney's case.
That's true, but things are different now. It should be a lot easier to prove the other side.
You sound like you've put a lot of thought.
I am the butler, after all. I live but to serve the boss and Demoiselle's will. I've always been willing to take on any kind of risk for your sake. But considering my relative lack of ability, I've spent my time keeping secrets, performing basic investigation.
Thank you for all of that, Malus.
Let me think. One conclusion I came to was that the enemy must be quite familiar with Spina di Rosula, or at least have an informant planted here. When I announced orders to the organization's members on Demoiselle's behalf, I used to deliberately keep a few people in the dark and observe. If the vendors didn't change their plans, then the individuals informed of our orders must be innocent. If the vendors packed up and fled, however, then someone must have given them the news. After several rounds of testing and investigative tracing, I've narrowed the suspect list down to 3 people. The first is Florent, Spina di Rosula's senior advisor.
Huh?
Yes, surprising, isn't it? He was one of the... Thanks to his position within Boss's innermost, there's someone else like him too. Marcel, the head of Confrérie of Cabrières.
Uncle Marcel.
It's a guild in Poisson. Boss helped in the beginning. They were only reselling some daily goods.
So, they're like a sister
Yes, you can say that. When we were fighting, it's a bit difficult to imagine...
The final suspect is Thierry, the man responsible for coordinating information between Spina di Rosula and the guards. Although the guards mostly leave us to our own devices, there are still many activities we have to report to the local authorities. Since Thierry is always in the know about our current activities, he could theoretically always plan one step ahead.
I see. To think that the enemy we've been fighting against...
If you want to investigate them, please take every precaution to not alert the quarry. Judging from our experience, the enemy is extremely cautious.
Of course. And thank you, Malus. You've provided...
You're too kind, And before I forget, proving Boss's innocence would also mean clearing him of blame in Jacques' death. After that incident, Jacques' wife and daughter were taken into the Spina's care. If it might help, you could also...
Aw, thank you.
A new case awaits, my dear partner. I hope we can work together.
Rise!
Shine down!
It is settled, then.
Thank you for arranging...
Excuse me, miss.
Hey, Navia's all quiet. This isn't like her.
I'm sorry.
But
Aren't all of those things nothing compared to the loss of Jacques?
You don't understand it.
I didn't know how to face you. I know. Only the...
I'm sorry. I appreciate... On the matter regarding my husband,
Would you mind sharing it with me?
I always knew that my husband's money was earned through others' suffering. He told me countless he had many regrets, and felt that he took the idea of providing for his family too literally. For the longest... So when Mr. Callis came to him with a proposal, he tried to be as careful as he could. But even so, he was still found out by the higher-ups.
They found out...
Papa didn't say that exactly.
Before he left that day, he told me that he had no choice. It was only later that I realized... I don't know that for sure. But you could... Which is why I'm the one who should feel guilty. Callis had always taken... Even if he fired the shot that killed my husband, it was likely in...
But Mama, why is Papa always wanted to be a good man?
Well, things aren't always...
Yeah.
Then you should hold on to that. Regardless of whether he left you a parasol...
Oh.
Thank you. For everything you've told...
Thank you. Even though your personality is quite different from your father's, your determination when you speak is really simple.
You really think so? That's the first...
I'll leave my husband...
Thank you, Miss Spina, and Miss Spina's friend.
investigate the 3 suspects next. Laurent should be nearby, and we should be able to find...
Greetings, boss. How may I be of assistance today?
I'm sure you've heard about what happened at the Opera House? Someone got turned into water, right?
Yeah, I've heard. With something that dramatic, I'm sure journalists will milk it for all it's worth.
It also reminded me, on the day that after my partner here put the dots together, can you do me a favor and try...
Let me think. Mr. Callis was feeling pretty upbeat that day. So, after that, he told us that he wanted to go get some fresh air. So we let him. My first reaction was that Mr. Callis's life was in danger. So I grabbed my holster and made him. But when I got there, it was already too late.
So you also remembered...
Indeed. The guards said that the first shot didn't hit anyone. While the reason being, Mr. Callis had left his gun on the table. I even made sure to confirm that before running to the scene. But according to the guards, that doesn't mean he couldn't have had other guns on his person. About the clothes left at the scene that you mentioned. Do you think there was a...
At least from our perspective, my father had no reason to kill. So the gun he was holding probably belonged to Jacques.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So you're saying... But hold on. If that... He didn't even want to face the Oratrice machine. Did he lose all faith in the courts? After
About that, Malouse told me a thing or two. So I'll tell you everything.
I understand. And if I may just say one more thing. The whole... Many people have laughed at me for still calling him Mr. But it was Mr. Callis's trust that allowed me to rise through the no matter what others might say.
Don't worry. I will... You and all our other comrades...
My apologies, boss, for that last sentimental... It's just... Many years have passed while I've held my tongue.
Hey, Thierry! It's...
Oh, now, what brings you here, Miss Navia?
Oh, so you've got...
Oh, okay. Hey, I'm also a member of the guards, you know. The way you make it sound, people would think I was sent off to Poisson because I had done something wrong.
Are you sure there isn't a little bit of truth in that? Under normal circumstances, shouldn't you have been called back to the city already?
I mean, where I work, it's really up to me. Let's just say I enjoy the ambiance of Poisson. Callis did a fantastic job running the town, building Spina di Rosula from the ground up and clearing many obstructions in my way. It would be next to impossible for me to find a similarly easy but high-paying job in the city. Anyway, enough chit-chat. Are these two friends of yours?
Yes. What happened at the Opera House made us realize...
Ah, I get it. You think there might be more. If you want to go through the original files...
That'd be much appreciated. Thank you. Actually, I haven't...
Of course. Without them, I couldn't possibly handle Poisson on my own. Why do you ask? We definitely can't use them to forcefully get...
Well, you see, so... if you, hypothetically...
Then you think too highly of my abilities. Dispatching mecha is very different from controlling them. If I had to make an analogy, when you order a dish, the chef will make it. If you try to make unreasonable demands, the chef would just think you're out of your mind and ignore you completely. Removing a serial number is also not as easy as you might think. There are a lot of complex steps to it, and it's almost impossible to keep it a secret. So I can promise you, they're certainly not cheap. So whoever their owner is must be super rich, powerful, or both. Now that you mention it, though, being in the synth business would definitely be profitable enough to afford this.
Oh, then you're officially in the clear, Thierry.
Oh, well, thank you. Jokes aside, I'd like to wish you... I'll be staying in the city for a little while, so just come find me if you need any support from the guards. I'll see what I can do for you in Spina di Rasula when it comes to guard stuff, but don't go advertising it to everyone else.
Take it easy.
Hello. How may I help you?
I'm here to see Marcel.
Sure. I will...
Navia, hello. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm not as young as I used to be.
Oh, it's all right, Uncle. I just wanted to talk to you.
Yes,
Oh, you were...
That's right. I went there with Navia to see the magic show. I also witnessed your marvelous... To beat the Hydro Archon at her own game on her own turf. I can already imagine...
Oh, Paimon doesn't want to become the talk of drunkards.
Apologies. It's just how Fontaine is as a nation. Everyone loves drama and theatrics.
Uncle Marcel, you've also noticed that...
Yes, I was reminded of your father's case right away. Is that what you're investigating now?
Exactly. I still don't have much solid proof, but I can sense that the other side has already begun to act.
Oh, and what makes you...
We were attacked on Araneus by some unnumbered Gardamex. And there was also an attempt to get me to drink water from the primordial sea.
If not for the vigilance of my partner, I probably...
Oh, you're giving it...
Alas, it seems things are heating up again. The peace that Callus sought so dearly will soon become a thing of... But rest assured, Navia, Poisson will always remain a safe haven for you. If you're scared, if anyone dares to lay their hands on you there, the Confrérie of Cabrières will use its funds to the last Mora to...
Thank you, Uncle Marcel. But do you have any new thoughts on...
About that. The Confrérie was responsible for that banquet, so I was out and about the whole time making sure things were running smoothly. Then I heard the sound of a gunshot, and the...
Oh, it's okay. No need to push yourself. We'll ask around some more. See if there are any...
Sounds good. Just let me know if all my wealth comes from Callus's patronage and support. I'll spend how... Alas, why do the...
Take it easy.
We've talked to all three suspects.
None of them sounded particularly suspicious.
I suppose that's to be anyway, even though we didn't make a...
But where should we start? Ah, you're right!
According to Jacques' family members, he already told them that he had been discovered, and that he had no choice before he left home that day. If I had to guess, he probably received an order from the synth boss to kill my father.
So, Jacques fired the first shot?
Oh? And why is that?
Ooh, that's a good point. Jacques probably already knew that he was just being used as...
So, what would make more sense from his perspective would be to... Makes sense. Besides Jacques, the attack from the Gardamex has been bothering me. It's obvious that our enemy has become more antsy after the secret of the primordial seawater was...
Do you think he knew, even then, that...
Given everything that's happened since, but who among the three suspects would have the ability to control privately owned Gardamex? Uncle Marcel? And with funds from the Confrérie,
he could also afford a large number of Gardamex. It's still really hard for me to imagine. Also, wouldn't this mean he has been spending a whole lot of Mora... Thierry, you say? But I didn't feel like he was lying when he was talking to us about the mech.
Yeah. If the mecha were taken from the guards, it should be pretty easy.
Florent? But as Spina di Rosula's advisor, his work mostly
So you're saying he's too broke?
Exactly. He can't. And... who could it be? You know, if you think...
Could we be missing other suspects?
Malus has always been very... The suspect is knowledgeable about the Spina's internal affairs, has the means to Even if I don't want to believe it, I'm starting to see how things could all...
Well, we still have another trump card on top of all the theorizing and speculating.
Yes, Malus did say that charging straight in there would be extremely risky. But we don't have... We need far more solid proof.
Navia, here you are. Oh, I've been looking for you.
Huh? Aren't you the...
Yeah. News came from Irenaeus just after you left. We've got another trial on our hands.
Wasn't that place built specifically for...
I know. But they said the person they're putting on trial is a Fatui Harbinger.
What? Is that...
Yeah,
Well, he's been accused of...
Wait, how? None of our
That's what I thought was strange about it, so I came... If the charge against him stands, then it'll be next to impossible to get the guards to support any of our planned investigation.
Right, because they'll think that...
Yeah, and it'll be a lot...
I understand. Huh? Split up? What do you mean? Just since this is a trial about the You're right. This is our best... I won't have any chance of making that charge stick, though, unless we find more evidence. It'll be...
We'll help you.
Demoiselle, please allow us to accompany you.
I'm ready.
Ah, Malus, Silver. When...
We heard that you'll be leaving Poisson and figured that you might require our assistance. It's our hope that you're confident...
Thank you.
See you then! Now that Navia has set out for Irenaeus, we should also get going. The location has already been marked on the map, so let's head over. Huh. According to Malus's info, the synth production base is underwater. Let's go and try to find the entrance. So this is the entrance that leads to the synth production bay. Ah, you're right. An important place like Navia's probably arguing...
It would appear that I must repeat my quest. Do you accept the charge that you are the true...
To be perfectly honest, I don't understand your country's complicated court system, or the reason why I'm being charged with... However, I did hear that people who have been charged can choose... In which case, as long as I accept the charge, I can... I've got to admit, that's one of the most enticing offers I've ever received. When I privately sparred with her last time, she was obviously holding back. Real disappointing.
Hey! Don't you understand? You're currently the prime suspect for a major case. This isn't the place for you to be looking for...
Oh? Sounds like the Hydro Archon wants to lecture me on the ways of the opera house. Then why don't you duel me too? I'm the kind of student that learns best in the heat of battle.
No. That's not what... I meant.
Alas, it would appear that communication with the defendant... In that case, let me explain everything from the...
That case had nothing to do with him. Huh? What's going on? Why is she interjecting?
I told you it couldn't be one of the Fatui Harbin.
Miss Navia, this is the second time you've interrupted the court proceedings. I only tolerated your behavior but that was an exception rather than...
Oh, please. Did you ever think I had any respect for this place's pointless theatrics? We can put that discussion aside for now. I'm not here to argue with you. I'm here to charge the true culprit, and if my charges prove true, then Tartaglia here will...
Oh, a young lady has charged in and offered to clear mine. So, Your Honor, is there nothing else?
You may take a seat for now in the audience, but that doesn't mean the suspicions against you have been lifted. Now then, Miss Navia.
That person is... Marcel, the head of Confrérie of Cabrières! Huh? What confrérie?
I've heard of them, but weren't they—
Oh, is this going to be a friends to enemies type situation?
Please let me remind you, Miss Navia, that charging someone is an incredibly... And if the charge fails, depending on the circumstances, you may also be charged with the crime of making a false accusation. Knowing that...
Yes.
In that case, I declare the charge to be valid. Miss Nav, members of the guards, please... Mr. Marcel, you will not
apologies, sir. I think an attorney won't be necessary.
Very well. In that case, since...
I would like to take everyone back to 3 only through elucidating what really...
Navia, do you really... Come on. Why would I do that? Callus was my benefit. If that's enough to make me a...
I think there's no point in getting in.
Exactly correct, Your Honor. I must refresh
I see. In which case, I will recount the findings about that case as originally recorded by Maison Gardiennage. On the day of the murder, Spina di Rosula hosted a large banquet in a countryside estate owned by the Confrérie of Cabrières. During the banquet, all attending guests heard 2 gunshots from the courtyard. When the guests arrived at the scene, they found the primary suspect, Callus, holding a gun, while his acquaintance... The guards' investigation did not recover any other firearms from the scene. As a result, they concluded that the suspect's first shot must have missed. The suspect did not dispute this conclusion, and also declined to defend himself in court. Instead, Callus was defeated by champion duelist Clarande in the ensuing duel, and soon succumbed to the injuries. These are the known facts.
The one with the motive to kill was Jacques, not my father. And, in truth, after that, the true culprit...
Thank you for the summary, Your Honor. However, we should revisit the case now.
A pile of clothing was, but now it is clear that the clothes were proof that there was a since it was raining that day, the culprit was This assassin first shot Jacques, then turned to shoot Callus, only for Callus to wrestle the gun from him and kill him in... The testimony of the victim, however, Realizing this, the true culprit caused the hired assassin to dissolve into water, leading everyone to believe...
So that's what happened. Wait, you're telling me something is...
What a great theory. It also...
Mr. Marcel, you are the one being charged with the crime.
But I think I agree with everything Navia just said.
Then, may I ask some questions? 1. Do you...
I'm a... Boo! I may not have the evidence with me, but we should be able to find... Considering the serial disappearances case, the guards probably kept careful records of all missing persons from around that time.
That makes sense to me.
Why do I feel...
Maybe she's scared of embarrassing...
Alternatively, she's become more diligent after...
My second question has to do with the ensuing... Then why didn't Mr. Callus explain himself in court? If he had testified that a person had been dissolved, he could have at least mounted a defense.
I've thought about this too. And the answer is the dissolving power of water from the prime. My father could have exposed it for all to see, but at that time, Spina di Rosula was in dire straits, and his reputation had already been shattered. He had no guarantee that going forward with the truth would allow the culprit to be brought to justice. What was certain, however, was that it would paint a gigantic target on my back.
Boss once told me that Demoiselle had already been selected as the next target of the serial disappearances case.
What?
If the secret had gotten out, the culprit would have fought an all-out war with Espina right there and then. I wouldn't have been the only one in danger. All of us would have stood to lose our lives. Of course, the guards might eventually figure out the truth of the matter, but what good would that do? How can a hollow verdict protect any... Had this opera house ever given my father any kind of confidence in its brand of justice, Spina di Rosula would have had no reason to exist. But by staying silent, we retain the ability to deter our opponents and continue the stalemate. I was able to become Spina di Rosula's president, which made me harder to target, as well as giving me more... And once I have figured out the truth and stepped up to the challenge...
So... You mean to say...
That's right.
Do you have an...
Of course. All you need is to ask his opponent, Cloran. I don't need your apology, your guilt, or your support from the shadows. But since he entrusted his will to you...
So... During...
Yes. As a champion duelist, I've fought many battles and taken account in my line of work. I've seen all kinds of people give their all for the faintest hope to continue living. Just one look and I can tell if a duelist is hoping to live or if they're looking to die. I hereby swear on my name and honor as a champion duelist that Mr. Callus never intended to leave the ring alive.
Since that's your testimony, I have no more questions. It appears there really are...
I concur. However, Miss Navia, you still have not explained the link between your father's case and the serial...
Right? What she said was fascinating.
Wait, weren't they just talking about the serial?
Of course, Your Honor. The two cases, in my father's case, the culprit intended to kill both Jacques and Callus. As a result, they planned to act after hearing 2 gunshots. And, at the end of Linny's trial, the culprit also only dissolved the victim in front of everyone because they realized they were at risk of being identified. The culprit could only time their actions so precisely if they were already at the scene. Coincidentally, Marcel attended both the banquet and the trial.
So that's why you suspected me. I'm used to it, though. You've always been an impulsive and sentimental...
No need to appeal to pathos.
I won't try to refute your points one by one, but even if everything you just said... On top of that, does a person have to be physically present to control the timing? Can't some...
know what she can say to that.
I know that even with that, you might still think you can reduce the list of suspects with some further investigations, until I'm the Alas, who won't feel at least a little hurt by an accusation of murder from a girl you see as your own daughter? But if I were to dismiss this completely, you'd also think I'm not being considerate of your... Do you know what the biggest flaw in your...
I suppose you're gonna tell me anyway.
It's timing. I'm a businessman by trade. From that standpoint, there's no reason for me to kidnap young women. It's a high-risk action with nothing to gain. In addition, I left my home in Snezhnaya when I was young to come to Poisson and work in some trade. My business only... But the disappearances began before I ever stepped foot in Fontaine.
I do apologize to...
No.
Is there anything else you'd like to say? You can also take a look at my border entry records. Or could those records and testimonies do something to appease the unspeakable?
Seems like she got the wrong guy. At this rate, Navia will be convicted for falsely accused.
I think you've done a superb job of dissecting your father's feeling, but aren't you going against all of his wishes and expectations? He wished for you to become more rational, collected, and conscientious, instead of dwelling only on your own. Once you've learned to be more considerate of others' feelings, and to stop rushing headlong into things, you'd have met...
This isn't just about me. The biggest difference between me and the rest of the victims, the people whose families were destroyed by synth abuse, the people who lost their loved ones to the many people's images, and whose image is it a man named Vacher?
Huh.
Oh, so you do know that name.
I'm merely surprised you'd suddenly...
I was waiting for you to...
Take it easy.
There is no escape! Everyone hold hands!
Busted.
Stabilize!
Whoa! The floor is going up! Is it because of this mechanism in the middle? That guy really prepared a lot of stuff for this place.
Illusion shattered!
Paimon thinks we need to go up, but Paimon doesn't see a way. Let's take a look around. Maybe we'll find a hidden mechanism that'll show us the way up.
Shine!
The water level is rising. Now we can swim to the top. But this is still a ways away from where we need to go.
Illusion shattered!
Grow!
Solidify!
Shine down!
I see everything.
Gotcha!
Now the path is clear! Let's go!
Illusion shattered!
Stabilize!
Shine down!
Things are about to get dicey.
This is order!
There is no escape! Inazuma shines eternal!
After, though, as expected, the mastermind isn't he. That's right. What's all this? Pink accessories, a hair tie, a necklace, even a makeup box. Oh, Paimon sees it too, but... Huh? You mean the girls from... And all the boxes of things. They snake? What's this over here? Looks like some... Experiment number 16 aims to verify Jacob Ingold's research conclusions on the primordial sea and use his theory as a... The experiment was a failure. No individual managed to resurface from the water from the primordial sea. Sorry, Traveler. Paimon will try her best. It's... How can someone write something that terrible and you read the rest? Paimon's too scared to keep going. So that's why he did... Wait, did he really think he'd be able to find a way just by dissolving people over and over? That's just insane! Huh? Isn't that the name you heard by the fountain? Paimon thought he was an eyewitness in the serial disappearances case. You mean Vache is the one who did all of these... experiments? So that's it! Vache... No, that's not it either! If that's the case, what? In any case... Whoa! There's so much synth here! And so many bottles of ingredients that probably just mixing in progress. Ready? Whoa! There's even fruit-flavored synth? Yep! Oh! Look! There's an important-looking basin over here! And it's full of water! That means... this is where they make all the synth! If you dilute it with normal water, you'll get synth! But the pure stuff can dissolve it. Paimon will take notes on this incriminating evidence. Let's see what's written here. Callus. Navia's father. Oh, this seems to be... Yeah, this should prove the existence of the third person, right? We still have not get determined the exact... The old dog's a real menace to deal. He can act whenever he wants to make our lives miserable. I concur. Let's send someone to... Oh, seems like we've got a bunch of correspondence between the higher-ups. We've looked at almost everything. Yeah, we haven't found anything that... No wonder even Neuvillette wasn't able to find anything. That way, even if we bring all this back to the... Sure thing. You take that side and... Nothing at all! And Paimon can't even find snacks either! Whoa, really? Let Paimon see! Vignier. Isn't that Vache's... Then... you found... Aw... So many! The final name, Marcel. Wait, but Marcel's pretty old.
And whose image do you see? Is it a man named... Oh. I was waiting.
Navia! We're back!
As expected of my...
Just how often do you intend to flout the rules of this?
It's all right, Monsieur Neuvillette. Given their confidence...
But the truth of it, Marcel, is that you've all...
Huh?
We've investigated you after your lover, Vignier, was dissolved. You kept abducting young women to it. You even created Marcel as a new identity and destroyed all records of your past as Vache.
So that's it. Even the villains in opera perform... And with that,
This information regarding your past... Well, Marcel... You fixated your gaze on the lover that passed away, so you never noticed how he changed, or...
You also never understood Boss's...
Or our determination to see...
Your determination...
Mr. Marcel, please speak up now if you would like to...
Do you think... Do you pay attention to you? What for? Have you ever paid attention to me? Ever empathized with my pain? No one helped me. No one even believed me. All those decades, they said there's no way a human being can turn into water. So I must have gone mad from grief. Vignier's death was brushed away by all of you as if it didn't matter at all. Well, now you know, don't you? Ha! Well, it's too... You only have yourselves to blame. You set up this ornate opera house in pursuit of... Vignier is dead! We promised each other that we would always be together. Wherever she goes, but I'm not from this blasted place, so I can't be
Hey, is that water from the primordial sea that he's drinking?
I can't dissolve! Can't dissolve! Do you all see? I can't go, I can't follow. So if I can't go where she is, what choice do I have? I did all of that, and in the end, that accursed Callus still got the... I spent my entire life living on pins and needles!
The suspect is exhibiting signs of mental distress. Guards, please
Don't touch me! Don't anybody come... Vignier, please, Vignier!
At this point, the verdict of this trial...
Fine by me. I wasn't a bad...
Traveler, please submit all the evidence you have collected to the... The man now known as Marcel was originally named Vache and worked as an adventurer with his partner and lover Vignier. During an underwater expedition, Vignier accidentally came into contact with water from the primordial sea and was dissolved in front of Vache. Vache learned of the primordial water's existence through the work of others and began to kidnap young women for research, with the goal of to cover his tracks. He he invented the new alias of Marcel and began to operate a business in Poisson. During the course of his research, Vacher discovered that a diluted concoction of water from the... However, as he accumulated wealth to fund his continued research and expanded this after exchanging blows with Spina di Rosula for many years, Vacher decided to... Although the assassination did not go as Vacher expected, he was able to turn Callus into the... And just recently, Vacher attempted to frame Linny as the culprit of the serial disappearances case, using a similar method. However, his attempt to frame Linny failed, and the power of water from the primordials thus concludes the enigmatic history of the... The Oratrice will now deliver the final verdict regarding the charges against... According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique, guilty.
Guards! Take Vacher.
Good. It's what he
With that,
We really just witnessed history.
Yippee! He's heard so many... Huh? Are you okay?
Demoiselle, you were at...
The day our late boss had always...
Yeah. It's finally over. See,
Well now, hasn't this been a most delicious piece of drama? The villain has been caught, justice has been served, past wrongs. Since it's been such a great show, I'll just let the false accusations against me slide. Either way, I've still got...
Please wait just one moment, Mr. Tartaglia.
What now?
According to court protocol, since this trial was initiated due to a charge against you...
Oh, come on. Is this really necessary? Haven't you already...
Please respect the laws of Fontaine.
All right, but this sure is a lot of hassle.
Through evidence presented in the public trial that was just held, the guilty party has been identified, and thus we now turn to the Oratrice... According to the judgment, guilty.
What?
Hey! That's not funny! What's with this verdict? Is your just...
Huh? This has never happened before.
I mean, have you ever heard of an innocent
But weren't the charges about the serial disappearances case? No matter...
The judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique. Guards, please...
So this is how justice is done in Fontaine. What a joke. You've got your rules. Well, I've got mine too!
I am sorry. If you have been wronged, we will find the truth. But the rules of the court must be upheld.
Hey, Monsieur Neuvillette, what's going on?
Apologies. This is also the first time I've encountered such a situation. However, all I do is follow court procedure. As for why the Oratrice arrived at the conclusion it did, you should probably ask someone more knowledgeable than me.
I don't know what happened.
What does Lady Verena mean by that?
She says she has no idea either.
Yeah, so are the verdicts reliable or...
My dear, don't tell me.
But the way she looked just now...
However, given the state of things, I shall give you an explanation. Everything and, of course, for If you thought Child had nothing to do with the serial disappearance, everything he's done, not to mention the date, all shall be revealed in time. Now, having said that...
So she chose to make her escape after all, did she?
So you're saying...
She probably just put on that perform. However, please be assured that I will continue to investigate this case in a personal capacity. Just as I promised.
All right. Even after all, he's done... Oh, Monsieur Neuvillette! That...
I'm the Chief Judge.
Take it easy.
Hey, what are you doing? Quick, stop him!
Traveler! Hey! Traveler!
Stop resisting arrest!
No, wait! I just want to ask the Traveler something. I'm not looking to run away. Please, just let me ask this one small thing.
Go on.
Thank you. I was being led away when I finally realized something. Where did you first hear the name Vacher? I erased all records of that name.
Are you still trying to prove your innocence? Give it up.
Really? You did? You're sure? The Fountain of Lucine? Then... Please.
What? Give an inch and you want to take a mile?
This request is...
Of course! Wait.
Humans. Will they betray the instinct? Very well.
Your Honor,
I will go with him.
Thank you. Is this the place? You said she's here, but what do I need to do to see her?
Yeah, and even Paimon could hear her after drinking...
Vacher!
Ah!
Yes, that's it! So you heard...
Vignier, it's me!
Vacher?
I'm here!
Hey, wait!
Vignier, is that you? It's me!
Vacher? You...
It's been more all this time. Only I must be... Vignier, you are my everything. I really don't know how...
But Vacher, if you ask me... If not for you, I would have finished my law degree. If not for you, I would have continued to pursue my love. If not for you, I would at least have been able to take care of my... It's all because of your...
Wait,
You're right. I am every woman who died by your hand. As our bodies dissolved, our thoughts circulated endlessly within the primordial sea. I'm Cressy. I'm Lemony. I'm Azine. The only one I am...
Why? But...
She doesn't want to see you anymore. Every tendril of her consciousness is... This is what you get for your selfishness. Your selfishness robbed us of our lives and our future. But did you ever consider whether she'd want to see... You are a liar. A heart... The only thing you are... From the moment your first victim died and her consciousness merged with Vignier's, She has had nothing.
No!
You still don't understand. When I said don't look for me, that came from the real Vignier. But on top of that, she also said that because it's her final She said that because she knew that if you did come here, we will show no—
Vache.
Vache? 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 Drown.
Finally, we have some time to do shopping. Gosh, it's really been a long time since we...
Well met, partner. I knew something great was going to happen.
Even this weather can't put a...
It's a pleasure to see you both again.
Oh, hey!
Oh, now that I believe. I'm easy to work with.
Sounds like you're really in...
It's just been one thing after the other. I've been making non-stop trips between Poisson and the courts in Seine. Everyone from Spina di Rosula organized a memorial for my father. We never held a memorial when he first died, since everyone knew that even if we held one back then, no one. This time, though, everyone in Poisson, and even many people from the court, all attended.
So his name's definitely been cleared now.
It's been the dearest wish of Demoiselle.
Oh, well, maybe.
Huh? So you know Sharon?
Yeah. Way back when I first became the president of the... I believe the story was called The True Heart of Darkness. To be fair, though, she was trying to lean on our friendship to get me...
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, I told her to make sure that when she writes about you guys entering the opera house with the critical evidence... Oh, and in other...
Oh, are you...
While you were investigating, it was thanks to her that we were able to turn the tide. I wanted to...
Oh, that's great.
Anyway, now that the case has finally been solved, perhaps it will slowly begin to fade from the public consciousness. Oh, actually...
What is it?
I should pay a visit to my father's grave. And on top of that, just...
Miss Navia.
Indeed.
We want to go too!
Sure thing. I'd like you two to share the moment with me.
And in that case, everyone, let's be off. Considering...
Yeah.
Huh? There's... Isn't that Neuvillette? Why would the Chief Justice be here? Huh? Not...
My apologies. I should have asked.
Don't say...
Sorry about...
Oh, I wanted to show my father how much I've grown. But still, I doubt I've grown...
In that case, I will stop apologizing for now.
You really could use some pointers on understanding human emotions, Monsieur Neuvillette. In any case.
Well, ever since that day, I've been turning a question over and over in my head. Just what is justice anyway? There was once a time when I didn't want to believe that there could be anything more important to humans than life itself. Oh, rather than that, it's probably more truthful to say I didn't believe humans were capable of resisting the most basic instinct of living things. That they could rebel against their own nature, or consider certain things to be more important than their own lives. Which is also why I didn't stop your father from beginning that fateful duel. I believed that a truly innocent man would never throw away his life, but Mr. Callis proved, if not for his sacrifice, the serial disappearances case would have remained unsolved to this day. Mr. Callis made the choice he did for his daughter, for his associates, and for many people completely unrelated to him. And in the end, from a certain perspective, one could say that he did it all for the sake of a justice that's higher than life itself. So, you asked me why I came here. I just wanted to say my apologies to Mr. Callis in person. This regret has filled me with a sadness that has haunted me for days. That high and mighty chair in the opera Epicles indeed insulates one from many important things. Spina di Rosula, thank you so much for your heart.
I'm sorry for being mad at you before. So, you're actually one of those types that's cold on the outside, but pretty thoughtful on the inside, huh? That reminds me of Silver.
That seem to have made their pieces as well. Let's not disturb them for now. We can wait till after they're done. Beck's at someone's grave before. Did Paimon do anything? Huh? Oh no. Anyway, Nervalette is still standing around there. It's not often that we can catch him alone like this. Talk to him for a bit. If we can't talk to Lady Farina, we can at least...
What are you...
Well, aren't you not supposed to fly around someone's grave?
Huh? Who told you that?
Hey, traveler!
Crumble!
Make yourselves at home!
Oh, it's you two. Did Miss Navia invite you to come?
We ran into Navia on the streets today, so we just followed her here.
I see. Is there something that I can help you with?
Well, it's...
Please feel free. Though outside...
So, at court,
Truthfully, that name is already quite accurate. I can only surmise that there used to be a special sea on the surface of this planet. The nature of its seawater was rather different from that of this. Most of Tevat's life forms were first born in that special sea. You could say it nurtured...
So it really was...
But today, the primordial sea no longer... What Vache discovered must have been some kind of special case. Indeed. Why would the primordial sea, which was known to engender and nurture life, suddenly reverse itself and devour life? To be frank, that also doesn't match my understanding of this world and its laws. There must still be some unknown secrets around the people of this... Is there anything else you'd like? That the sea levels will rise and everyone will be dissolved. Does that appropriately summarize the...
That's right!
Yes, up to the present, I think we reached a point where we have no choice but to confront this. Rumors have it that this prophecy is rooted in the last words...
A prophecy? Of the
Two parts of the prophecy have already proven correct. The rising sea levels and the ability of the people of Fontaine to be dissolved. Speaking of the prophecy, Farina has also always taken it quite seriously. Indeed, if the rumors were true, then perhaps this prophecy is the conundrum.
But with Farina being the way she...
Is there anything else you'd like to... My apologies. My investigation has still not reached its conclusion. However, arbitrarily...
But you also said you thought he was innocent.
For many years, I have been quite aware that the Oratrice does not simply mechanically repeat the verdict that I give on each case. As a divinely created mechanism, the people's unit... Not only can it produce the incredible power of indemnitium, but it likely also... Which is all to say, I have been prepared...
So when Lenny...
I was not aware such a thing had occurred. Perhaps that could serve to prove my conjecture. In any case, I am inclined to believe that the Oratrice does have a methodology all its own. We just... Based on Farina's reaction, I doubt even she had any idea. While we do intend to get to the bottom of this, for now, we regret to say that if we did incorrectly convict him of crimes he did not commit...
If you ask Paimon, the only compensation he'll want is a no-holds-barred fight with you.
Anything else you'd like to ask me about? Your sibling? Another blonde-haired traveler? If he ever stepped foot in Fontaine, I'm sure he followed our laws to the letter. Is there anything else you'd like to ask me about? That the sea levels will rise. Does that appropriately?
That's right!
Yes, up to rumors have...
A prophecy?
Two parts of the prophet. Speaking of the... If the rumors were true...
But with Farina being the way she is...
Is there anything else you'd like to ask me about? Very well. It was my honor to provide you with what answers I could. I very much enjoyed conversing with you. It will soon be time for me to leave this blissful tranquility behind.
You really are super busy, Monsieur Nev-
Crime and villainy do not have the day off, and so justice must work around the...
All right. Huh? Paimon just noticed that the rain has stopped. Everyone hold hands!
Solidify!
Let's wait for a little.
Take them. I have no need.
Take it easy. A chest full of valuables and a trove of potential clues. Take it easy.
Illusion shattered!
Hey! Everyone hold hands!
Take it easy.
There is no escape!
Hey! Roll! Committed to memory!
Take it easy.
down!
Everyone hold hands!
Illusion shattered!
Take it easy. Take it easy.
Add astro. Add astro.
You